My name is Morgan Beatty, and I will be talking about betalains. So what are betalains? Betalains are red and yellow pigments. They were first extracted from beets, and the name betalain is actually based on the word beet. Betalains are water-soluble. They're nitrogen-containing pigments, and they consist of aromatic rings. They're attached to a glucose molecule, and they have an indole structure. Betalains are synthesized from the amino acid tyrosine. Each betalain is a glycoside and consists of a sugar and a colored portion. Synthesis of betalains is promoted by light. They are only found in members of the Caryophyllales order. This is an order containing 33 families of flowering plants, such as carnations, cactuses, amaranths, and ice plants. Betalains can be found in roots, fruits, and flowers as well. They're most commonly found in beets and also found in some fungi. Basically, they replace anthocyanins. Plants will not have both anthocyanins and betalains. Anthocyanins are also red-producing pigments. And you can distinguish betalains from anthocyanins because betalains contain nitrogen in their structure and anthocyanins do not. There are two main structural groups of betalains. These absorb light differently due to their different structures, which I'll show you in a minute. And therefore, they give a different spectrum of color. Beta-cyanins, which are red-violet in color, and beta-xanthins, which are a more yellow-orange color. All betalains contain betalainic acid, but the nature of the betalainic acid residue determines the pigment, of whether it's either going to be a beta-cyanin or a beta-xanthin. So therefore, it's either going to be red or a more yellowish red. Beta-cyanins contain cyclo-3, 4-dihydrophenylalanin residue. Among these groups, there are 24 known betalains that we actually know about. So here is the betalainic acid structure. All betalains start out with this structure. They all have betalainic acid. It's just the nature of the acid that determines the pigment of whether it's going to be a beta-cyanin or a beta-xanthin. So here you can see the beta-cyanin structure, which I have, like I have on there, will be a red color or a darker color. Like I said, it starts out with the betalainic acid structure, and then added is the cyclodopa, which is the cyclo-3, 4-dihydroxyphenylalanin, which is added to it. And here is a beta-xanthin structure, which is more of a yellow or a lighter color than the beta-cyanin structure. Once again, starts out with that betalainic acid, and then instead of the phenylalanin up there at the top, we have some amino acids. And you can kind of understand why, comparing the structures, why beta-cyanins tend to be more stable than beta-xanthins, both at room temperature and when heating. And finally, here is the beta-nin structure. It's the betalain that I'm getting ready to talk more in depth about. As you can see, it is actually a beta-cyanin. It's in that category of betalains. And it's the most well-known betalain. So now I will talk about the beta. The most well-known betalain is a beta-nin. Beta-nin is also called beetroot because this is the betalain that can be extracted from the beetroots. Beta-nin is also a beta-kyanin. It's one of the beta-kyanins. It's a glycone, which is a non-sugar component of a glycoside molecule that results from the hydrolysis of that particular molecule. It's a glycosidic food dye and a glucoside that hydrolyzes into glucose and beta-adenine. The color of all betalains are not sensitive to pH, but in particular, betalains are sensitive to pH. So the higher the pH, the darker and more of a bluish red it will tend to be, and the lower the pH, the more yellow it will be present. Betalain degrades when subjected to light, oxygen, and heat. So therefore, it's most commonly used in frozen foods or products with a shorter shelf life, like ice cream or something like that. It can survive pasteurization when there's a high sugar content. So overall, the color of betalain pigments are not usually affected by the pH. Betalains usually are. However, all betalains are more stable at pHs of 4 and 5. Betalains are also very sensitive to oxygen, and light accelerates oxidation. Sulfur-containing additives such as sodium sulfite or sodium metabisulfite can result in a loss of color. Amaranth plants contain a large quantity of beta-cyanins, which gives its flowers a red color. These are flowers that bloom in the late summer, late fall in North America, and they're actually found by early Native Americans of the Hopi tribe. And these Native Americans used this plant to make for a source of deep red dye for their clothes and stuff like that. Betalains can also be in food dyes. They're a coloring source for meat and sausages. They can be found in ice cream and in soft drinks, especially powdered soft drinks or powders that you put in drinks to cause the red coloring. They can also be found in sugar confectionery, so fondants and cakes and stuff like that. They can be used in soups as well, like tomato soup. They act as free radicals. They're also known to have some antioxidant properties. And supposedly, according to multiple websites, multiple sources and studies, they've also been found to help reduce inflammation, reduce risk of blood clots, reduce cholesterol. They can protect cells from toxins. They can protect the liver. And they've also been found to have cancer-fighting capabilities. So they have they're really good for medicines and medical purposes as well. And then some people have trouble breaking down betalains, and these people may be susceptible to biturina, which is a fancy term for red urine, if you have too much of it. And that is all about betalains.